What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster-in-Chief. And tonight in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you as voted upon by the viewers with an Azorius control deck featuring Jin-Gitaxias, the Progress Tyrant. I've got a couple of versions here, and I don't know if we'll be playing both of them, but I'll definitely be showing you both of them, so you can sort of see the evolution. Version 1.5 it's a 1.5. Version 1 actually didn't have Jin-Gitaxias. It was a shell that I had made that was actually running a couple of copies of the Hullbreaker Horror over here in the same position, and I just replaced Jin-Gitaxias. But then, okay, if that's the game plan and you're not trying to ramp into this 7-drop that ends games like Hullbreaker Horror does, Jin-Gitaxias doesn't have that same sort of game-ending oppressive presence about him. First of all, it's just got less power, so, you know, less damage when it attacks. But also it doesn't have that ability to bounce everything that the opponent plays and has on the battlefield. So that makes the building of the deck completely different. You don't need as many, like, you know, fading hopes, that kind of thing that usually people play with Hullbreaker Horror, to have those cheap instant speed cantrips. Here, I'd rather have a few more artifacts, because Jin-Gitaxias, whenever you cast an artifact, instant or sorcery spell, you copy that spell. Whenever an opponent casts an artifact, instant or sorcery spell, counter that spell. So, if you have Jin-Gitaxias in play and you play a Reckoner Bankbuster, you'd get 2 of them. Something that, if instead of playing these 3 copies of the Reckoner Bankbuster, the original copy of the deck had more Revitalizers and other card draw spells, and there were no Bankbusters, you see where I'm going here. Like, that's one consideration that I took. I definitely wanted to have a few more artifacts in the deck, which was also my reasoning behind the Celestus, but then I realized it's legendary. And even if you make a couple of those with Jin, it's not going to do anything, because you'll just have to get rid of the 1. But anyway, the rest of the stuff, the modifications that I made, the Behold the Multiverse was 1 copy, and we had 3 of Deluge. I went to 2 and 2. The reason for that is because if you cast Memory Deluge when you have Jin-Gitaxias in play, it'll copy it, because it's the first spell you cast. But the copy costs nothing, and therefore you don't get to look at any cards, because X is 0. You didn't spend any mana to cast Memory Deluge in that case. And so I'd rather have more Behold the Multiverse, that if I have Jin-Gitaxias in play and I cast Behold the Multiverse, then I do get to scry 4, draw 4, instead of just, you know, the 1 going off. Then I went up 1 copy of March of Otherworldly Light, because it does handle artifacts and enchantments, and there's a lot. And I mean, when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Like, I've been playing solidly all day today. I've been, I've reached Platinum 1, so close to Diamond, and 1 in 2 matches, literally, if not 2 in 3. Is Selesnya enchantments, Naya runes. Selesnya enchantments, Naya runes. It's driving me insane. And it's also one of the main reasons why I've pivoted to these control decks of late, because it's the one thing that sort of handles them. We've got, as I said, March of Otherworldly Light to handle those early enchantments, and then we've got Farewell at the top end that just gets rid of everything that they played. And it's kind of one of the best answers to that deck. Then we've got 3 copies of Fateful Absence, just have some instant speed interaction. You can also hit Planeswalkers, which is pretty important in the deck, as there's a lot of sweepers and things, but, you know, Farewell doesn't hit Planeswalkers, Doomskar doesn't hit Planeswalkers. So really the only thing that we have in the deck that hits on Planeswalkers is Fateful Absence. And of course, you know, we can counter them on the way down with one of our counter spells. Then we've got a couple of copies of Revitalize. You know, like I already talked about in the earlier part of the video, I used to have 3 copies. I was trying to trim things down to fit in some Bankbusters, and so Revitalize was one of the cards that saw you know, one of its numbers being reduced. Then we've got 1 copy of Disdainful Stroke for countering. This is our little counterspell package here. We've got Disdainful Stroke, Jwari Disruption, 2 negates, and 3 sword comings. So quite a lot of counterspells going on here, as you can see. Then we've got 1 copy of one copy of the Celestis. You never know when that'll come in handy. And that little bit of filtering, life gain, day and night manipulation might be handy. You've seen this before as a one-of in a lot of these control decks. It often comes in very handy. So I've just gone with the sneaky one-of. Then we've got 3 copies of the Wandering Emperor. Fantastic. A fight spell that is also happens to be a Planeswalker. So you can flash it in when the opponent has attacked, and either exile one of his tapped creatures or make a 2/2 white samurai creature token, or if you already have a creature in play, you can put a +1/+1 counter on it, give it first strike. Now it can block successfully without dying, and you know, the following turn you untap with a Planeswalker in play and start putting counters on things. It's fantastic Planeswalker. So we've gone with 3 of, and one of our alternate win cons. Sometimes we can just you know, keep attacking with little 2/2s, and they have vigilance, and if we put +1/+1 counters on them, they get bigger and bigger. You know, this can be a win con in and of itself. Then card draw, we've got plenty of it. Okay, I mean, there's 2 Revitalize, 3 Reckoner Bankbusters, 2 Behold the Multiverse, 2 Memory Deluge. We should be drawing, you know, and there's a little bit of card draw through the Celestis. I think we should be getting through our library quite rapidly. Oops. Then we've got a full playset of Doomskar as our sweeper of choice. Very important against all the aggro decks as well. There's still plenty of Naya aggro, mono white aggro crawling up and down the ladder. So that's what this is in here for. Of course, against the Selesnya guys as well, you hit all of their, you know, creatures is not a bad move either. Then top end, we've got, I always wonder why they do this. So this is 6 converted mana cost. These 2 are 7. Why did they put them together? Anyway, 3 copies of Farewell, as mentioned earlier. Fantastic new sweeper. The real like problem for aggro decks now, if you're not you know, closing the game out by turn 6 and the opponent's playing white, there's a very high probability that you're about to get your entire board exiled. And it doesn't hit Planeswalkers, so you know, your stuff stays behind. If you're playing a Super Friends deck, this is definitely the sweeper you should be playing. I am going to be doing a Mardu deck shortly with Farewell that's focused entirely on Super Friends. More on that in a future video. Stay tuned. But finally, wrapping up with our top end, we've got a couple copies of Emeria's Call and a couple copies of Jin-Gitaxias. Emeria's Call and Jwari Disruption bring our total land count from 22, 24, 26, 27, including the MDFCs. It's been doing the, you know, it's been doing fine for me during testing, and the mana base is a pretty wonky one. We do have 2 of the Seats of the Empire, 1 of the Soaring City, some basics, 2 Hall of the Storm Giants, some duels, and I managed to squeeze in my usual couple of copies of Field of Ruin, and that is the deck. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole thing again. I just want to show you version 2. This is when I was like, okay, that was a shell that I had Hullbreaker Horror in, that I removed Hullbreaker Horror and just put in a Jin-Gitaxias, and I try to like slightly adjust. This one, I put Jin-Gitaxias as the first card of the deck, and then I built everything else around it. And it's clearly quite different, as you can see, but very similar. We've still got the 3 Fateful Absence. I've gone for 2 copies of Sanctify instead of the March of Otherworldly Light for the artifact and enchantment removal in the early game. Then pretty much the exact same counterspell package, except I've gone for 1 Test of Talents. Let's see. And then a full playset of the Bankbuster this time, and no Revitalize. And then we're going for this sort of soft lock scenario. I'm actually kind of enjoying 2.0 a little bit more. Like, see the opponent's, you know, head scratching as they hover their mouse over the cards. But if you ever manage to get the Archon of Emeria and Jin-Gitaxias in play, so the first artifact, instant, or sorcery the opponent casts gets countered, and they can't cast the second one because they can only cast one spell a turn because of the Archon. It's they just can't do anything, and you've got a bunch of instant speed stuff. You're interacting with the opponent's board and cards during their turn, and then during your turn you're just like +1 in your Emperor, or, you know, just casting one thing doesn't really bother this deck too much during our turn. And yeah, I quite like that sort of soft lock situation that we can obtain with Jin and the Archon, and that's why I went with this slightly different build. But as you can see, the rest is very much the same. We've got you know, I completely got rid of the Deluge and went for just a full playset of the Multiverse for the card draw. Again, full playset of Doomskar, 3 Wandering Emperors. Everything else is almost virtually exactly the same. Slightly different mana base, few number fiddles here and there, but nothing crazy. And that's version 2. So let's jump into some games. I think I'm going to play version 2 and 1. Let's see, but we'll bounce around. I kind of want to show you the difference in how the two play, and I will of course be putting both of these decks in the video description down below for you guys to copy and enjoy. Right. Now, if you could like the video, leave a comment and hit the bell icon at this point in my videos, of course, you would make me a very, very happy Lone Fox, because that is all fantastic stuff for the algorithm. Start of a new Mastery Pass begins with a new set. 1 Sanctify, 1 Fateful Absence, 1 Saw It Coming. It's not terrible. I'll hold up the Fateful Absence rather. Sure. Now we hold up the counter magic. Oh, what a hit. Bye-bye, Ranger class. We've played Aunt Smothy quite a few times in the last couple of days. Might as well. We are flooding. El Floodo. Okay. Not the best, honestly. Okay, goes for the full level up of the class. Farewell now would be just fantastic. Okay, just a handful of counterspells. Cute. It's very satisfying, I must admit. Oh, come on with the lands here, mate. Like, that's enough. Not even a single one of our MDFCs, and we do have only 23 in the deck. Sometimes. There's like, I almost feel like there's a certain like, degree of like humor to the shuffler. Okay. Oonn is also just flooding like crazy. If I foretell, I still have two. No, I'm not foretelling. What a terrible match when it's like this. These staring matches. Maybe he's got one of the Besejus. Get a nice peek at his hand. Me took. Okay, no wonder he wasn't doing anything. He's just drawn a bunch of interaction. Okay, he's going for this. I've tried this so many times. It just doesn't. It's not a very good deck, but it is fun. Okay, so now at least we know we've got to deal with some meat hooks. So we need to have like negates and things up for when the shit does go hitting the fan. What a weird match. Sure, I'll take a backup Emperor. Look, we might as well start calling out some removal here. How many do I have to discard? 2 cards. So let me play the Emperor.
You started this fight, but I'm going to end it.
And I will discard Jwari. What do you reckon?
Keep watch for intruders.
We're gonna kill that hive now with the Field of Ruin. Damn it. He's got 2 of them, which is terrible. Should have saved the negate. I missed, I thought there wasn't enough lands to activate the hive. I wouldn't have wasted a negate like that. Let's grab another white one. Got enough blue. Let's see what he does next. Okay, ready to exile this hive. I like the sound effect on this one.
This is what you get for hurting my people.
Backup negate is good. Backup negate is very good.
Remember your training.
You can Eiganjo the Orange Reef. Although he can respond with the inscription. So actually, I think I'd rather just bounce it. Okay.
May your blade strike true.
Just waiting for him to top deck his Planeswalker, then it's just Disdainful Stroke all the way. There we go. I'll just bounce it again. It's one massacre gone. Can't remember how many he had in his library when we first checked it out. Now we Doomskar this guy. Oh crap. Whoops. That was my bad. Can't cast another spell. I should have first gotten rid of the massacre. Now we see if... Okay, it's fine. Back up Archon. That's the problem.
I must contain the blight that dwells within. You cannot quell the royal. I'm never done for good.
Okay, we got this, we got this, we got this. Got the sword coming.
The swamps come to my aid.
Mate. Definitely flooding just a tad. Bye-bye. These matches are so grindy, guys. We're gonna have to definitely go for a 1-hour video today. Sure. Still leaves up enough mana to Eiganjo his ass. Okay. Little did he know that he just sealed his own fate. Ah, skadoosh. Now your hand is empty, my dear friend. This is the point at which control decks want to arrive at. Now let's just top deck a Jin. Ah, okay, that's also a very good top deck. Guys, the amount of lands I've drawn this game is quite something. How many lands do I have? 4, 5? I mean, okay, wait, I can just check my deck pool. Come on, give me Jin. Jin. Incredible.
You started this fight, but I'm going to end it.
Put a counter on our Bankbuster.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Strike fast and strike hard. Say go. Hello. Where you been, mate? Not about to give him any card draw though, unfortunately. Off you shall bugger.
Keep watch for intruders.
Hee hee hee. Jin-Gitaxias, baby. In the house. Oh, I should have. I thought this little counter here was a charge counter, but it's a +1/+1 counter from the Wandering Emperor. I should have activated this Bankbuster. Now let's see if this is the kind of person who's red. Okay, okay. That's a pretty nice top deck. Second copy of Jin.
We must protect the people.
Two 5/5s coming through. Down to 7. I think we got him. We've got some counter magic, some interaction. We're down to 14 cards. What a match. What freaking grindy. How long have we been going? We are now 30 and like half an hour into the... Okay. Counters itself. Thank you. No one's read this card yet. Got him. Well on our way to Diamond. It's been a very successful day today, actually. So now, I don't know, do we just jump into version 2? I beg your pardon, do we just jump back into version 1? See how they play slightly differently, or do we just leave it at that? I think version 2 just is better. I like that Archon of Emeria soft lock situation very much. Here we just got a little bit slightly different. We've got the Emeria's Call as a win con. We've got the Revitalize for a little bit of life gain. It's definitely a slightly different package. And there's one additional Jwari Because here there's 22 lands, so they're really like 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 with the MDFCs. I don't know. I think we're just going to keep playing version 2. Let's try this one. Yeah, let's try this one. You'll see they play very similar, kind of. The play lines are all very similar. And I've been playing so many aggro decks and so much combo stuff. It's been a while since I like used control as my main ladder climbing deck. It definitely takes a lot more patience. Mono white aggro. Still a thing. Okay, no. It's Naya. Oh no. This is one match that ends very quickly. Can't even play my sweeper because of Talia. It's almost already game 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, I say good game because I'm a polite person, but... it's just mono white. it's mono white with some green and red. It's so good. It's still the top deck in the format. As far as win rates are concerned, in best of 1, Naya aggro is the best deck in the format. Period. Paragraph. On to the next thing. You're welcome to argue that with me in the comments, but... Ookie! Ookie! Okay. I don't know. I'll probably keep this. Try and slam the Celestis on 3. When it's snow, it's not usually mono white aggro anymore. Okay, never mind. Let's hold up Jwari. Jwari. Sorry, buddy. Hold up sword coming. Still holding up sword coming. Oh baby. Comes a progress tyrant. Good luck with that, my dear friend. You need 2 Vanishing Verses back to back. Epic. Epic.
I'm home.
Nice. On to the next one. It's been a while since I've enjoyed casting a counter spell. Like, right now, though, the meta is in such a position that I'm really enjoying this control deck. Just domination. I think I'm just going to switch back and forth. I hope that doesn't bother any of you, that I do these kind of wishy-washy videos where I'm not focusing on a specific deck. I always just have too many options, too many things I want to show you. This was just... The builds are so close that I thought, let's just try them both. Brad the Mad Cat. I actually played this guy earlier today. Okay, it's a lot of counter spells, but I'll give it a try. Here we go. Here we go again. Unfortunately, it's on cast, so they get their triggers anyway. Probably should have used the Fateful Absence rather than the Negate. That was a mistake. Anyway, I have a feeling we'll lose this one. Okay, okay. We are le-bricking. Big time brickage. Next. I don't have time for this crap. Also, I've found doing this kind of switching between two very similar decks. Get your tinfoil hats on, but I find it helps with the matchmaker algorithm, all the complaints. Like, just switch your deck around a little bit while you're playing every day. It makes for more varied matchups. That's just what I found. Mulligan that. Much better. Guys, it's every second match. It's every second match. 2 and 3 sometimes. How can this be something that somebody at Wizards of the Coast considered, like, normal? Like, what is wrong with you people?
Of a roadblock. Try not to let your blade do the talking.
I think we just dead now. I'm so sick of it. It's, okay, guys, last match of the night. We're gonna try and beat Selesnya again. Watch, I bet you anything it's gonna be another Selesnya matching. It's a little bit annoying. Like, it's not even that good, actually. I think the runes, I'm trying to figure out like whether the original kind of version that came out of the meta within the first couple of weeks of Kamigawa dropping with 4 hallowed hauntings and things like that, or the new Runeforge champion runes, Rune Storm deck that they've come up with. I don't know. They're both good, obviously. I get beat by them more often than I care to admit. But best of 3 professional Magic, I don't think they're really that good, actually. It's kind of your best of 1 arena decks. Like, you know, mono white. Okay. At least if it is the same matchup, we've got 1 Sanctify, we've got a Doomskar. Okay. A different deck. Woo! Mono blue tempo. Dimir. Cool, man. He's gonna let it go tonight for the stowaway. What are you gonna discard, mate? Okay, so it's a reanimator deck. That's the reanimator spell. It's gonna bring this back next turn. And I have no way to stop him. Can't remember the cost of this. If it's 3, I think it's, you foretell it. Maybe we can Jwari something. It's about as good as it's gonna get. If it's 4 mana, we good. If it's 3, we screwed. Whew. Thank goodness.
My judgment is
Thing is, you know, when they have one, they have four. And they'll probably have other reanimating spells. I doubt it's the only one he runs in the deck. Fortunately for me,
show them how we greet our enemies. Keep watch for intruders.
counter magic. Nope. What? Thanks for milling those away for me. Did not need 2 more lands.
For this?
I know the 1/1's gonna kill the Emperor. I'm okay with that. I don't want him milling too many cards. We need to get a counter spell in hand for when he reanimates that thing. Whew. Why must people ruin Magic with this fucking card, man? Bounce yourself. Oh, he bounces the Doomskar. That's fantastic. Please, no interaction. Okay, let's hold up sword coming. Draw a card. Okay. Soft lock mode engaged. No, he's screwed. Thanks. Good game. Alright guys, I think that's going to be it for tonight's video. We've definitely showcased the brew. We've almost arrived at the 1 hour mark. There is very little I need to add, and very few win cons that we did not test out. The one thing that we didn't get to cast was Emeria's Call. Not too bothered about that. But there in the final game, getting to illustrate the soft lock board state with the Archon and Jin-Gitaxias. So in this final thoughts and wrap-up segment of the video, I would recommend that you take version 2 for a spin. I think it's the more fun one, but as far as performance and maybe reliability, I would give version 1 a good look at, because it's got a lot less 4-ofs, a lot more 2 and 1-ofs, and that sort of variety in a brew tends to make for like better top decks in my experience. But yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys to discover. But thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all tomorrow with some fresh brews. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab signing out. Peace, y'all.